In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do if you are starting an agency, or if you have been doing it for a small period of time, like less than a year, and you're not seeing the results you want. I'm going to give you an extreme regime or regiment that will help you get to where you want to go. My name's Charlie, built and scaled a couple of businesses, agency to 7 figures, coaching business to near enough 8 figures. The regime, my friend, is called dark mode. Out like a light, like Drake said. I really do make myself cringe, man. I hope you don't mind, but we're here for the ride. So dark mode is similar to what other people might call monk mode. I know Alex Becker calls it nightmare mode, which is badass. But I want to tell you a story, right, about how I basically built my first agency to $10,000 per month. I finished my apprenticeship when I was 18 years old. I did an apprenticeship in sales and marketing, and the first year in business for myself, remember it very vividly, I created a regime of behavior and habits that I would call basically dark mode. It's where you cut out literally everything except from painful work. The whole premise of dark mode is to give yourself no escape from the work. So no video games, although I did play some video games, so I'm slightly contradicting myself. But if you want to do it properly, you get rid of everything that isn't the work. Get yourself some shitty office somewhere. Just build a regiment where you're training and you're going to the gym, so you're keeping your health in order, you're eating clean food. And then literally 12 hours a day, you just work. You don't see friends, you don't talk to girls or boys or dogs, whatever the hell you're into, right? I won't judge. You don't do anything except from work. My routine when I was building my first agency, which was called Fit Leads, before I partnered with Bo and we merged into NorthFlow Consulting, I would wake up at about 6 in the morning, go to the gym, and I remember it very vividly, man. I would drive to a small town called Somerton. I had this office rented by this guy called Bihag, who definitely overcharged me at the time. I didn't realize it, but he was a great guy, so I like him. I remember I'd hop in my Corsa every morning. About 7:30, I would drive over to my office. I'd open up the shop because my office was above a computer shop. I'd open up like the place, pull the blind back down so nobody could obviously steal computers, and then I'd go up some stairs and I'd get into my office. And my office was really comfortable. I had like some LED lights in there and shit. I had like a little IKEA corner desk, but the windows were barred for some reason. I guess it's because it's a computer shop. So it felt like a bit of a prison. But once I walked up those stairs, I told myself, I'd walk up the stairs and I'd look back down the stairs and I'd say, you're not going down those stairs for at least 10 hours. I'd get in there and in my bag, I'd have my food. I'd have I had a microwave and a kettle in my office. So I had no excuse to leave. There was a bathroom there as well. So literally, the key is just lock yourself in a fucking room 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, and hope to God that you've got the willpower to not do degenerate shit on your laptop throughout the workday. If you can do that and you don't do anything stupid, you'll be fine. So this is why I call it dark mode, because nobody hears from you. So you go to obviously I was seeing my family because I was living with my parents at the time. I was like 18, 19. You can ask any of my friends, they didn't hear from me for a whole year. I didn't have a relationship. I didn't date. I didn't see anyone. I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere, like with the exception of just some family events, like a wedding, I think. I didn't do anything. All I did was just work. And this is what it takes, because in order to go from 0 to 10K a month, you have to completely change yourself. 0 to 10K a month is less about making more money and more about becoming the person that can make more money. Like what I mean by that is, the easiest way to do it is just dark mode. Well, I was a civilian. I was in the civilian mind. And what I had to do was I had to basically undo near enough 10 years of conscious conditioning towards traditional society. So let's say right now you're 25 years old and you want to learn how to make 10K a month. What you have to understand, in order to do that, you have to become a completely different person. You've got to become a whole different beast. It's less about becoming the new person and more about letting go of the person you currently are. And the easiest way to do that is to lock yourself in a room with nothing but the work. And what will happen is over time you will associate and your identity will align with just painful work. And really that's all it takes to become a successful entrepreneur, is just being a little bit lonely for a long time and building something in spite of not really wanting to build it. It's a very extreme method of behavior that reaffirms an identity and alignment with the person that you need to become to achieve the result you want to achieve. But dude, just don't do anything stupid. Eat no bad food. Don't see any people, you can see friends if you really want to, maybe like, oh, but I'm an extrovert. But even then, just maybe see them like once a month or something, man. No drugs, no alcohol, no smoking. Fortunately enough, I've never struggled with any of that before. No video games, no porn, nothing that makes you happy. And I really mean it, man. Nothing that brings you like an escape. And this is like dopamine detox. You should do it for a whole year, man. And what happens when you remove all sources of pleasure and all you have is a source of pain, you start to derive pleasure from pain. Now, not in a weird masochistic sexual sense. Not that that's weird, I wouldn't judge anyone, but you get the point, right? I don't mean it like that. I mean, when the only source of stimulation in your life, or the primary source of stimulation, is painful work, you start to fall in love with it. And this is why the true benefit of dark mode realistically comes from this year of pain. It's like a rite of passage, it's trial by fire. Because now what happens is you come out of this year, probably with a multi-six-figure income, and you've now realigned your identity. The habits that were holding you back before no longer exist. Because then what starts to happen is if you go out and drink and do some degenerate shit, you start to realize how stupid it is. And the reason you see it as stupid is because it no longer affirms your identity. And this is the big thing. It's the identity shift you get as a result of doing this for a year. Let me ask you a question. Thought exercise. You want to get to 10 grand a month, right? What do you think would happen if you locked yourself in a box, right? Like a small office, and you made cold calls for you said you did 6 hours of cold calling every single day, and you did 2 hours of cold email and 4 hours of sales calls every single day, 6 days a week, because take Sunday off, otherwise you'll go insane. 6 days a week for the next year. If you realistically committed 313 days to 12 hours of work every single day on growing the business, and you don't procrastinate, you don't build a website, you don't sit in your office. If it makes you feel good or comfortable, you shouldn't do it. That's the rule of thumb for dark mode. That year is a year of just pure pain. If you're not suffering, you're doing something wrong. It's the fastest way to build deserving points. To get what you want, you must deserve what you want. The world is not yet a crazy enough place to reward a whole bunch of undeserving people. Charlie Munger, one of my favourite quotes of all time. You can't cheat the market. You can't cheat the system. If you want to be successful, you have to deserve to be successful. Most people take 10 years to get to 10k a month, right? And that's because they build the pain slowly. But just condense it into 1 year, man, and you'll deserve it. Fuck, you can probably even do it in 3 months if you really were that serious about it. But people don't have this in them. If you haven't got the ability to do that, you might as well just let go of trying to start a business. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice things for your goal, then your goal becomes the sacrifice. Everyone says they want to make 10k a month, and then you tell them to do 100 cold calls, and then you see what they're really made of. And then you see what they really want. What they want is comfort. They want passive income and all this shit. Yeah, that's everything. If you need more clients, click the first thing in the description.